Playing from Amira S. iPhone.
Hello. Amira Alvarez here, founder and CEO of The Unstoppable Woman. And I wanted to talk a little bit about, how to handle these uncertain times. So we've got this COVID-19 virus going on, and it's going to affect things. Things are shifting. Things are going to have to, as a business owner, you're going to have to course correct and make some adjustments here, because we don't know how this is going to play out exactly, but we know that it's playing out and it's going to have an effect. So let's break this down and let me share with you how I am approaching this. So I'm trying to do a double Facebook Live on my phone and on the computer, and let's see if it works. Guys, if you can not hear me or if something's not working, please let me know. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how I am intellectually looking at this and also emotionally looking at this. So intellectually, I am looking at both what are the possible effects that this might have short-term on my business and, quite frankly, on my clients' businesses, and what are the long-term effects. If this lasts a week, 2 weeks, a month, what happens? If this lasts 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, what happens? So you want to look at cause and effect here. What happens if the economy shrinks over a period of time? What is that going to do to your business? What if people can't come and work with you in person if you have a location specific kind of business? What if you have a brick and mortar store and people are going out less? How are you going to course correct, and at what point do you want to start doing that? I would suggest that you want to start thinking about it now, about what the possible effects of this are on your unique business, and then think about, well, what would I do in now? What would I do in 2 weeks? What would I do in 4 weeks? What would I do in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months? Kind of play it out, okay? So you want to go really, really with a critical eye, but not with a sense of doom and gloom. Keep your perspective about this. Play out the different scenarios without going into an emotional state of panic, right? That's not going to solve any problems, and that's not going to help you. And then also really look at the opportunities in this experience right now. So for instance, I was just talking to a client about this on Thursday about what's happening with the economy and how that might affect her business. And then we saw opportunity after opportunity after opportunity for repositioning what she's doing. And it could be the best thing that's ever hit her business. It could be the thing that actually catapults her and leverages everything that she's put in place to date. And by helping her see that opportunity, it helped her get her mindset right around it so she could be success driven and really focused on the action she had to take towards this new plan. So you're going to want to look at what are the opportunities in this situation, right? It's going to be different, but what are the opportunities for you here? Now, the balance to this is no magical thinking. Okay, you're looking for opportunities, yes, and you're looking for how you're going to need to course correct. Both of those need to be present for you, and that is not magical thinking. That is being very both opportunistic, looking for the opportunities, and really business savvy about looking at the cause and effects here. Where we go into problems is when we say things like, oh, it's all going to work out, and if I just think positive, nothing bad will happen to me, and I'm protected by this sort of affirmative bubble. That is ignorance. That is magical thinking. That does not work. So PSA, public service announcement here, really look at how this might affect you. You need to play that out. So one thing that you are going to want to do right now is think about what kind of data do you have in your business, and can you protect that data? Like, what if, I don't know, businesses have a huge outbreak and all their staff can't support what you are paying them for, and things shut down and you can't access your database or your business critical data. I'm saying the same thing multiple times. what are you going to do? So one of the first things we're doing is we're downloading all the data so that if we need to, we can have that at our fingertips, and we're not dependent on other companies. We're looking at, I had a quick email exchange with the person who does our website and all of that. Like, what's the backup plan if he gets sick? What's the backup plan if all his people get sick? What's the database out there that I don't understand? How are they supported? And we just had a quick, no fear, no panic, but just like, are we covered here? And what do we need to do differently? And we made a little tweak and all good there. Okay. Obviously, you're going to want to look at cash flow and what are your operating expenses, and do you have cash flow, and what do you need to mitigate there? Again, you want to continue to invest in your business and your life. You do not want to contract to the point of paralysis. That is not a plan that's going to work. Okay, that is not how to run a business. That said, you do want to be savvy and not do magical thinking. Like, what are your expenses? How much time, if like the economy really gets tight here, how much time do you have before you have to make a really some hard decisions? Okay, so you want to start planning for that, putting some savings in place if you don't have that already, looking at where you can get operating expenses. There's I would look at all the funding and lending sources, right? You want to make sure that you have good operating expenses, okay? A good flow for that. You're going to want to look at what's affecting your business. Like for us, we do a lot of things in person. People travel for VIP days. People come to live events. We love all of that. But we also have a channel in our business that is all virtual. All my private clients and group programs, we do that coaching via video conferencing, and it works brilliantly. So temporarily, we're going to shift all our VIP days. Instead of being in person, we're going to do them virtually. Very exciting. I'm looking into new technology for events. Like, what happens if in 6 months we're still doing this? I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to resolve in the next 2 to 4 weeks. But let's say that there's a follow-on effect to it, and it takes a while. Well, we have a great event called the Unstoppable Woman Summit, and it's live and in person. And of course, if we would need to course correct there, what would we do? So I'm already looking at amazing technology around this, where we can have special rooms. It's like virtual reality. It's very cool. And how do I make that experience even better for me, for people? Like, not just for me, but for my attendees. Like, how do we create community, which is such a big part of the Unstoppable Woman movement? Like, when people come to the summit, it's about learning, it's about getting your action plans, moving through your blocks, but it's also about being in community with other women. So we are developing plans for this. So I would suggest that you have a really deep conversation with your team. We have it on our agenda for our team meeting first thing Monday, and we've been talking about it, pretty much every day via email as things have been unfolding. So you wanna be in conversation with the people who are on your support team. A little offer, giver's gain here kind of thing. If you need someone to talk to about this and want to spend like 15 minutes or 10 minutes on a quick call with me, I'm happy to lend my insight into your business and give you some nuggets on how you could course correct. Okay, that's super, super important to if you don't have team to discuss this with, that you find someone that's going to help you figure this out. This is super important. And if your private client who's actually listening to this, ping me, because we need to be having conversations about this and really diving in to what you need to do in your business to really, protect yourself and actually grow. So I want everyone listening to this to think about how you could actually grow in this situation. That's my perspective. I'm not being like an ostrich with my head in the sand, but I'm also looking for, how can I grow? What's good? What do I need how do I need to look at this to see the real opportunities here? Okay. So backup plans, alternative ways of doing your business? Is there an opportunity here? Restaurants are going to be impacted. Could you offer like delivery? That would be a new channel of income that you might not be doing already, but you know, these times require it. So you go do it, right? So how can you think about like what the opportunity is here? Super important. So no magical thinking, look for the opportunities, look for all the cause and effect that's going on. Don't panic, right? That doesn't help. I'm not panicking. I'm just thinking things through. Plan for your cash flow and operating expenses. We're bringing on new people. So like we have, we're still growing, and I'm also taking a look, like I'm definitely invested in my growth. My growth, my business's growth. That means my mental, emotional, spiritual growth. My team is super important, and I consider my mentor, who I pay, part of my team, and I consider my employees and contractors part of my team. And I don't plan to contract on any of those sides because you can't do this alone. I know that about growth. So I am like in this situation, I am buffering myself in that way. Super, super, super important. And then I'm also looking at it from how do I protect my team? I was going to have someone come out next week to help me do video for our new podcast that we are launching. And I am not having her come out. She was going to drive. She wasn't going to fly. But I don't want her stopping at gas stations. I don't want her like out there, you know, moving through this world. We're talking about social distancing. Let's really support that here. It's only going to be for a short while, but let's not put our people in harm's way. Okay. So work from home, have video conferencing. Oh my God, what an amazing tool. Thank God we all have that, right? So do your meetings by phone instead of in person. Do your meetings by video conference instead of in person. Have virtual coffee with people instead of meeting in a coffee shop. Same thing with drinks. It's only for a short time, and we do this. My team is fundamentally spread across the whole country already, so this doesn't affect me. But if you have an office where people come into, now's the time to make that adjustment. It's super important. So these are the little adjustments that I'm making. And if you have any questions for me, please do ask. Listen back to this if you came in a little bit late, but basically look for the opportunities in this situation. Know that the economy is going to continue to grow. Like, it's not going to end here, but you do want to plan for the next short term and midterm and long term, and make sure you're set up. If you have questions about that, please reach out to me. I'm happy to have a quick little 10-minute, 15-minute call with you to help figure out how to navigate this time. Totally happy to do that. I don't want anyone to suffer. So if you need time, if you need a little bit of brainstorming or idea bouncing, please reach out to me and listen back to the whole thing. Okay, have an awesome day. Take care. Bye.